Hello and welcome back to another episode of A Record of My Father. Here we are today. And I think we're going to talk about music for a little bit, and a little bit is being exactly 34 minutes and 58 seconds. So what do you think about music?
Only got 34 minutes and 58 seconds to talk about it. I don't know what the hell to
We
say.
better hurry up. We
Just
don't
not
have a lot
enough
of time
time. I better
here.
just start like spitting it all out. Uh, Let me think. What was my earliest song that I listened to and I would have to say it was probably in first grade, and it was Sugar Sugar by the Archies.
Oh, yep.
Da,
Yep.
da,
I
da,
know what you're
da,
talking about.
da, da, playing my candy girl, whatever the hell it is. I don't remember. That's my voice. Yeah.
I want to
I'm
hear a
definitely
cover.
I'm
We're going,
definitely I'm definitely Lady Gaga
we're going to karaoke soon enough. But what were you
when
talking
she's
about?
asleep.
What were you talking about in high school? When you were in high school, there was a band. And it was such a bizarre band too.
Well, I think
It's like a
and when I
yeah,
was in middle school, there
yeah,
was a when I was in Ripon Middle School, there was our arch enemy, which was Fred and Lynn Middle School, and Aerosmith played there.
that's crazy.
That played for a dance. And that would have
Wow.
been like 69 or 7, right around there. And that was when they were like, they played at a middle school dance, and I was just like,
Well, that was
wow.
like Jim Croce as well. Jim Croce played at a, oh, let's see, it was a New York high school.
Yeah,
And I remember talking to a woman that went to the AC/DC concert, and she's like, I saw him play when I was in high school.
isn't that
In
crazy?
the middle of yeah.
And just the whole like, wow. I mean, I think about musicians, if I ever met any, uh the ones that have touched me through the
I
years.
don't think I've met any really. I've met ones
Well,
that
the
aren't
coolest
successful. I don't know.
well, the neatest thing that I ever did was probably going to the Cat Stevens that you and I and your mother went to. Remember that?
That was incredible.
Kennedy
That was
Center,
an
that was just like,
unforgettable experience. That was something that,
he has a voice and a way about him that it exudes a feeling. And then when I was in, say, from about eighth grade until 11th grade, it's kind of one of the few things that kept my head together. I was very, what do you want to call it? Volatile, crazy. I did a lot of stuff. I got kicked out of school a lot of times. I was first to action. I was never someone to sit, but music is
mhm.
something that was just sort of like, I mean, you hear it all the time where it says calm the beast, and it's like, and it does. It makes you feel better, but also it amps you up. I mean, I
What's a
remember,
rewarding thing too in your
yeah.
brain as well, and that's how it's used, is that it rewards your serotonin level when you
Yeah.
listen to music, and I think
Well,
that
it can
that as
also go
well.
the other way. Because I
Yeah.
remember I worked as a doorman at Georgetown in a club called Garrett's. And I remember it was like 11:45, and the guy put on, and this is when we had cassettes, and he puts in LA Woman.
Mhm.
And that starts. And then everybody just starts jumping. And then the owner happens to be there drinking beer with one of his friends on a Friday night for whatever stupid reason. And he goes over and he goes, "You started it too soon." Didn't know what that meant.
Mhm.
Within 20 minutes, fights broke out. I mean, just people just randomly. Yeah, one woman that was the night that the woman got hit in the forehead with
Oh yeah.
the pint glass, and which I always thought weird. But there was just like Marines got in a fight, and somebody else got. I mean, it was just stupid shit.
LA Woman is
You know,
not a song that I think that people would fight
I
to
wouldn't
either.
think so either. But it was
Dropkick
like,
Murphys, yeah, okay.
no, but it's a
AC/DC,
driving song that drives people and wakes them up and makes them. It boosts your
the bass
energy.
line in that song is very,
Oh
very,
my
and the
God, it boosts
drum,
your
yeah,
energy.
the drum line
And
as
it
well is
made people
crazy.
literally, they were doing the, what do you call it when you see I've never been to a punk show. I should probably go to a punk show where they jump up and down. And it was
Mosh
just
pit,
like,
is that what you're talking
and
about?
and the bar is as many people can fit in a room as big as this room, as big as the place. See where you are right now, put 100 people in there, elbow to elbow, with the bar at one end and then another bar at the other end, a stairwell in the middle, a side little room there. I can tell the story about that where the woman went in there and peed in the sink. And That was a great. That was a funny story, you know. And
Yeah.
this was that night. I mean, there was like so many things that just went absolutely crazy. There were other crazy
Yeah.
things, but
And then you
but that,
told me, she's like, why am I getting kicked out? I don't know
yeah,
why I'm
it's
getting kicked
like
out.
I know
What?
she went in there and there's like a long lady line to the ladies' room because I think everybody was snorting coke in there at that time, and it's like
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not going to go and take their coke, you know. And it's like figure it out. And so she went into the room where we food off the it's an offshoot of the kitchen, and there was a little sink in there, and she pops
Ooh.
up on the sink, and I'm going like, don't do that. If you do that, I got to throw you out. I can't help it. And I just like whatever. And then I go to throw her out. And everybody's, oh, I can't believe you're doing that. You're just a bastard. And I'm like,
You're such a misogynist.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know. If a guy had done it, I would have kicked him out too.
No,
You
exactly.
pissing on her sink on her frickin' pots and pans? No.
On the hot side.
No. That's where we wash the frickin'
Oh,
pots and
God.
pans.
Well, this is probably a wake-up call for many
Well,
people
I
who
don't
went
think
to
we washed
Garrett's
them
at
that
this
night. I
time.
think we just served them. Hey, we're not going to charge you for the special sauce.
Oh, oh, oh my gosh.
Whatever.
What music are you
Were we
listening
talking about
to?
music? I forgot.
What music are are you listening to these days? What are you
Me,
doing? Yeah. Because
I'm
I've noticed
still
it, yeah.
I love, you know, A Long Way to the Top of Rock and Roll. I love AC/DC. I listen to the same songs. I listen to pop. I love Carly Rae Jepsen. I love I was thinking about I haven't heard any Taylor songs. I want to go grab a Taylor song and listen to that is just like a driven, fun,
Doing what
energetic
Taylor Swift.
song. I could absolutely be one of
You
those.
do love
What are the
modern pop music.
floozies? What do they call them? Floozies? No.
Bluesies.
No, what are the people that follow her?
Swifties. I don't know.
Swifties. Yeah, I'd be a
Is that
Swiftie.
really it?
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
my
that's
shot.
it.
That
That's
was my
it.
guess too. That was my
Yeah,
best
I'm a
guess.
Swiftie, man. I could be a Swiftie. I could be a
Do you
floozy
listen to her
too.
music? I didn't know that you listened to her music.
I would. I haven't. I've heard a few of like the songs on the radio and I liked them and I said, "Hey, I'm going to buy one."
Was it the image?
You know.
It's just the image thing.
Well, I mean, My House. I remember you laughing when I bought that, and then
My house.
what's another
What
one?
is that? What do you mean, my house?
BANNANNANNANNY, whatever her name
Gwen
is.
Stefani.
Gwen
Yeah,
Stefani.
yeah.
I
like.
love that.
Who doesn't love Gwen Stefani?
Hollaback Girl.
No Doubt was also incredible as well when she was in No
The
Doubt.
Hollaback Girl is just whoa.
Mhm.
You know, and then there's 2 or 3 songs from both Van Halens that are really good. You know,
How dare you? You like
I like them
what is
both.
that? You like
I like
Van
Sammy,
Hagar?
and I like
You like Van Hagar, huh?
yeah,
I think
do.
that this meeting's
He was
adjourned and that
great.
we need to.
He did 5150, man. Which
We're not
I mean,
doing this
right
podcast
now.
anymore. Like, I'm not a Van Hagar supporter. Okay, Right Now is a really good song.
Okay,
I do like Right
okay.
Now. I do like Right Now.
You know, and you listen
but
to
I
some of
didn't
the
say that
guitar
you didn't hear it from
solos.
me.
And what was the one where David Lee Roth is looking over into the abyss, and he lost a few friends there?
It's
I mean,
not Jump. It's not Jump.
no, I love Jump. I used to listen to that in
It's
high
not
school.
Panama either.
And no, when I was in college, MTV one year when I was at ODU.
He made the music video. You know that.
Oh yeah, I
he
saw
made
that.
The whole modern conception of the music video.
He did the backward flip, and you would see Eddie playing, and when you saw to me, it was magic. How fast and how exacting he could move his hands up and down the guitar, and you just look at that, and you're just like, you know, that to me that's freaking Beethoven on a guitar, you know, just because the movement to move from the top to the bottom and to stretch and just, you know, I just love that. I mean, I love that. I've seen that in Billy Idol's guitar when they were doing Rebel Yell, and you saw the guitarist and he flips the guitar behind his back and he catches it and he just goes crazy. Of course, Prince, you can't. Anything, My Heart Is Gently Weeping. Everybody's seen that, and
that was incredible.
I mean, you just go like,
what an amazing musician.
Or Stevie Ray Vaughan, Voodoo Child. When you see him play, and he's playing, and he breaks guitar strings while he's doing a riff, he switches to the other guitar strings. A guy comes on stage, unhitches his guitar, rehitches the new one, and he jumps and keeps going.
Wow.
What the? That's not human. That's just, or that's somebody that they have a there are people that have talent and don't like go after it, but he's a person that they said just like as soon as he finished a show, he goes sit in his limo waiting to go to the next thing or going to the thing, and
Who
he'd
is
be
this?
playing. He'd be that Stevie Ray Vaughan. He'd be playing the guitar, and it's like when you look at the people, and Eddie Van Halen was the same way. I mean, I remember Sammy Hagar when they read a piece about when he showed up at his house to audition, and he said they're all sitting there drinking beer and smoking cigars in the garage or smoking cigarettes in the garage, and Eddie Van Halen is just playing the guitar.
Yeah, he never
And
stopped.
he just never stopped.
Well, that's what he would do as well, as he
you
would sit in his room for long hours and just play, because that's what he found to be most interesting.
That passion is a really, really cool thing to see when you see how they put it into something that's that's what people have always said about me. They said I have that passion when it comes to the businesses that I've been in and the things that, when I believe something, I believe it or I don't, So I have that.
They say that you're the Eddie Van Halen of the SEC law firm.
There you go. I would love to say that I was something like that, but that ain't.
That's what they call you.
There's a lot of brilliant people. But anyway.
No, that's funny.
Anyway,
no, I like that.
Other music. What was it?
But what about silence? Because when you're in the car for the longest time, I think when I turned 16, 15 or 16, you just stopped listening to music in the car.
Well, because the thing is that to me it was distracting when I'm with you.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like you're my kid, and it's like I don't have and remember, it may not have seemed like a long time to you, but I went to work at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't get home until 6 o'clock at night.
Oh, I remember.
And that was Monday through Friday. And then on weekends, a lot of times I was going to bed at 9 o'clock on Saturday so I could get up at 3:30 Sunday frickin' morning and make it to the airport by 5 so I could catch a flight and go set up a frickin' booth on the other side in Chicago or Texas or California or New York.
No, I remember.
So it was like I had to focus my time on you.
Mm-hmm.
But remember our songs? Oh, my God. What was it? Jay Giles Band.
We listened to Centerfold maybe 1,000 times, maybe 1,000 times.
In the pickup truck, I swear, every day. What were you in, 3rd grade?
Something like that. That's why I have such a good music taste. You and Mom really cultivated that.
Crazy. Well, she's the greatest because she had
the playlist.
She has this wide, diverse, and see, that's what another thing that sort of turned me on about her is the fact that she loved all that stuff from the 80s, the Silky, whatever the heck, and all that, and I never tried anything. All the music that I've ever done, most of it, with the exception of very, very few pieces, have been, my brother was a member of the Columbia Lighthouse, not for the blind, Columbia Records.
Oh, okay.
They used to do 12 records for a penny. And you would get those, and then you'd have to buy the rest of the albums at regular album prices, which are $6.99, and you could buy them in the store for $2.99, but you buy them for the $6. So they made money that way. But it also was an instant record collection, a dozen albums. And he had like Sly and the Family Stone, Everyday People. Wonderful. I remember listening to that. He, Satisfaction, the original, what the heck was it? Original Rolling Stones. What was that one song? What was the one that, Satisfaction, the original 64 album. I remember seeing.
Oh, the album.
What's his name on the front with that funny look? Who else? There were just so many different. Those are the two that really stick out at me. Was Sly and the Family Stone, Rolling Stones.
What was that album that you had by that estranged European band?
Oh, you mean like
it was like a Harry or something.
Rancid?
No,
that was I heard that
one song by them, and it was I've never heard, and it sounds so strange.
Well, it's not like Alan Parsons Project, is it?
No. It's more. It's way. I said it's strange.
I love that. That was my breakup album.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You ever do that when you break up?
You were listening to this album around that time. I'm gonna say that.
When somebody breaks your heart, you go and you try to like mend it. You try to figure out ways to do it. And music is one great way. But all the songs are like, "Oh, my life is all about you," which is sort of stupid. But at the same time, I mean, for me in particular, I would exercise.
That's what it is.
and I would listen to songs. And so I would get an album, and I remember my early breakup when I was in my teens was I would put an album on, I do sit-ups.
Yeah.
And I would do until one side was done.
It's like
I
45 minutes.
remember the Doobie Brothers, The Captain and Me. I would do that album. I would do iRobot, both sides.
Oh, great album.
I would do, Todd Rundgren, A Wizard of True Star.
That's an amazing album. I
That
have
was
that
just
one.
amazing.
I have that one. Oh my God.
I had all these and I got rid of them for some stupid reason.
Well,
Cat
'cause it
Stevens
was
was
done.
another one.
CDs were the future.
No, I didn't. The wife had all the music in the world, and music had really started to play a back seat to my life then. So
Mhm.
I had it all the time, and I played it all the time when I was in the car. And the only time I play it loud is when I'm trying to annoy the person next to me in the car because they're pissing me off. And so, I mean, it's more of a sword than a soothe, I would say.
A sword than a
You know,
soothe.
yeah,
That's gonna
yeah,
be our new merchandise line
yeah.
coming up soon.
I come up with that stuff all the time. I'm the most person, no, the most full of shit marketing person you'll ever find, or
The
something.
most person marketing shit. The most person marketing. Interesting. No,
Something
but I
like that.
only, I
You know,
got into
you,
vinyl once.
you just throw all that stuff out there. Yeah, I'm great at pithy statements that encompass things that people go, wow, that sounds really cool. Just don't analyze it too much because
Just don't. Have you used the record player in that room that you're in yet? The one that I showed you how to use? I showed it.
I think I did with you,
Yeah, I showed you how to use it.
and I don't think I've used it since.
Oh, really?
Is it plugged into
Yeah,
any?
everything's plugged in. I set it up for you up there.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
everything
then
should work.
I should put it on right now. I'll listen
Yeah.
to Frank Sinatra.
There's a
I like his.
the
I
shop
mean, he
street.
does the
It's
I Did It
really,
My Way.
really
I
good.
love that song. Or New York, New York. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that from Jay-Z as well.
Well, there was that strange man at the dump that was getting rid of like
Oh my
200.
God, that was the craziest thing in the world because I go to the dump
Yeah,
and I'm
tell that
throwing
story.
out cigar boxes. Because I mean, I smoke cigars. I probably smoke a box and a half a month. I had like 50 cigar boxes, and they're all wooden and they're made out of cedar. So they're kind of neat. And I try to give them away to people and you take them and stores sell them and shit. And I don't care. I'm just like, I feel bad that I don't get to reuse them. And so I'm taking them to the dump and I've got a ton of them. And I see this guy next to me in this old frickin' Falmouth, whatever what it was, station wagon. And he's in the back and he's talking and he's picking out albums and I'm looking at him. I'm going like, he takes like a big box full and he throws it in the dumpster. And I said, dude, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm getting rid of my albums because my girlfriend said it's either them or me. And I think if she throws them out, she's going to throw me out too. And so,
That's such a
and
weird
I was like,
line to die on.
and I'm looking at him and I'm holding cigar boxes. He goes, why in the world would you throw that away? And so, and I'm going like, cigar boxes, man, I smoke and I got like 50 of them. I don't know what to do with them. And he goes, well, I'll take them. And I said, well, I want your albums. And he goes, well, do you want to look at them? I said, no, I'll take every single one. You sure you don't want to look at them? There's a lot of show tunes and stuff in there. And I was like, is he gay? Is he coming on to me? It's like, that's what I thought at first.
Yeah, that's what that means.
I mean,
That's exactly what
whatever, but yet he has like Andy Williams. He has all of these, every K-Tel
Harry
record.
Belafonte. I remember.
Harry
Yeah.
Belafonte.
That sounds really good too. Wow.
Sonny, Son of a Preacher Man. Who is that?
Dusty Springfield.
Dusty Springfield. Oh my God, he's got like everything from the '60s. I was just like, holy crap! And a lot of late '50s. He had Lena Horne.
A lot of
Had
early 50s as well, if I remember correctly.
I mean, there were just amazing
A lot
stuff.
of TV show stuff too.
Yeah.
And we still have them. We still have them today.
Well, I think that that's kind of what the whole thing was back then. That's where albums kind of, you need an idea. And if you're going to play a song, well, people realize that, hey, if you have Rock Around the Clock on a television show, more people will watch it because there's something that links to it. And that was the early days of, music in the background, having people clap in the background in between, and then having laugh tracks and all that other happy crap that makes you believe that it's something that you should watch, and it's wonderful. When
Well,
in
that's
fact,
funny too,
it's
when
triple
talking
and
about
trash.
airport
Yeah,
music that was
yeah,
developed by kind of Brian Eno, and that he was in a car crash,
yeah,
right? And his friend comes in and puts on an album, and it wasn't at a high enough decibel, it was like very low.
yeah.
And so he was listening to it and he realized that music is as impactful at that level as it is at a higher
Really,
level, right? And that's why when you're
really,
in if you've ever listened to airport music, it's phenomenal. It's
really.
just at such a low decibel. And it's very, very interesting. I don't know. So then he
They
developed this
play
whole idea
AC/DC at the airport. Come on, no
for
way.
ambient music. No ambient music, but
Hmm.
it's really something. Really something.
You got me. You got me thinking now. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard elevator music that was really good.
Yeah, but that's the why it exists. It's because
Yeah,
of the whole idea and invention of ambient music.
playing it. Yeah, because you think about it, it's like
Yeah.
how do you keep a large group calm?
There's
And I
no
mean,
places
even
where you hear
I go
sounds
back to
anymore.
that thing when the guy said you started the music too soon, because what you're supposed to do, and what he said you don't play music like that when bars closing at 2. You start playing those songs at 12:45
Yeah.
to about 1, because then you get everybody amped up, so they pound their last 2 or 3 drinks. They amp up the money they put in. If they start pounding drinks at 11, they're going to be just knee walking drunk by 2 when we're kicking you out. So it was like you don't want them to really start pounding drinks until like almost 1 o'clock in the morning, because then they got 30 minutes, and most
Mhm.
people will drink 1 or 2, and then usually you're trying to throw them out like before 2, and they're sitting there with two beers. Oh, I bought 2 beers just 5 minutes ago. I can't believe you're throwing me out. And I'm so like, last call was 30 minutes ago. So no, you didn't buy them 5 minutes ago. You're just slow as shit, and you're hanging out over here gabbing and thinking that we're going to stay up all night because we don't want to go home.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to happen.
No, it's not.
Leave.
Get out. Please.
No, I was never mean. I was
No.
I was like almost in every instance. I'm trying to think. I was never like I'm there. It paid to be decent to people. There were or to give them alternatives,
Mhm.
because that was the whole thing is like you're dealing with somebody that's, inebriated. You might be on a little bit of speed, maybe a little cocaine, a little this, little that. And so their mind is not, it's not, and,
It's just
and,
a bee. It's a bee
and you're
buzzing.
about, I mean, there was rarely a day that I worked there that I wasn't at least a third in the bag, because I mean, I'd show up at 8 o'clock and I had a bartender, Brian, who was just this great guy. And he would do this. He'd swap his head, like, come here, doggy. And he would set a little glass about this big full of Heaven Hill bourbon.
Mhm.
And he would set it on the bar. And he would say, it's your hourly. And he would give me an hourly drink of bourbon,
No, that's nice.
which is about, I don't know.
The shot.
No, hell no.
Uh,
Maybe this much. Maybe this much. Maybe a little less than this.
3 fingers.
So you would chug it, and it was just enough that I could take it all in,
Mm-hmm.
Which sounds really sexual, but wasn't meant to be. Anyway, I mean, just enough, because it was like when you look at a glass,
Yeah.
no ice, and you go all the way to that little lip around the top, it was just below that, and it was just like, whew.
That's
And
the
I
only
did
time
first-
I think of ever.
And it was
being
Heaven
drink
Hill,
well.
and everybody it was rail bourbon. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be, everybody talked about Heaven Hill being crap, and I got to tell you, I love that bourbon. I mean, for $3 a quart, it was great.
$3
You
a
know,
quart.
at $3.50, it might have been $4 then. So prices rise.
Well, that's
Inflation
right
is
there.
terrible. Yeah, it was really kind of good. But anyway, we're losing sight of all the different musics, are we?
I don't know. I think that we're branching out, that we're discovering, because music, if not, crafts memories, and we're talking about those.
Well, that's it. It's like, what song do you remember? It's like, my wedding was Pachelbel's Canon. When I hear that, I stop, and I can see my wife walking
Pachelbel's
down
Canon.
Pachelbel's Canon.
I don't think that's right.
I think it's something like that. Mozart, whatever.
It's
I'll find it and
I
I'll
thought
send
was
it to you.
Canon Symphony or something.
It's probably that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. But every time I hear it, I know what it is. I know what it sounds like. That
Yeah.
it just moves me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when I remember seeing her, and my brother hadn't gotten there yet, and it was funny.
We can link the song in the you know what,
The
I'm gonna
wedding
write
was
that down.
interesting too. I can go down. I can run the stories down.
We're going
You
to
know,
link the song
you
in the
can't go in
description.
until the until the groom's mother gets here. Where the
Who
hell
is
is
this?
she? Oh,
Oh,
my
is that your
wedding.
mom?
My mother was a half an hour late. And the
Oh, I
father.
remember
Yeah.
hearing this.
Yeah, it's that was well, she had to do the wash, man. She had to put the laundry in. That is exactly what she said. Well, I
Oh,
had to
wow.
put a wash in, and I'm just like, I didn't even bat an eye.
Well, she was unstable at this point, wasn't she?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, she might have been a little bit, but uh
I mean, if you look at that,
no, she did not. She was she did not think that anybody that married her sons was good enough. No.
wow,
She's just
interesting.
that way. She was never going to accept her, Valerie. She never accepted my brothers and their
Mm,
wives. She never accepted any of them. So that was just her thing.
yeah.
They were taking us away from her. And I guess that's
Mhm.
a hard thing. At some point you're going to get married and if she turns into be that way, then I will point to her that these should be
I don't
accepted
think she
and
would
not.
be. I don't think
No,
she
but
would
she's
be.
not that kind of person.
No,
You know
she's
what I
not.
mean?
She's not vindictive.
Yeah. And there's
Yeah.
also like the home life was we were protection. So
Yeah.
we were protection from the old man. So as we go away, she's still there. And there's one less body between me and him.
No, exactly.
Ah, the good old days.
The
Weren't they just
wonderful
so wonderful?
reminiscing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I should beat you or something.
I think a little bit more. I think you might have missed the train.
I think it's too
Oh
late
no,
though.
I think it's
Yeah.
way too late now.
You probably hit me back. And that
Maybe,
that
yeah,
that wouldn't be
probably,
yeah.
probably. What
That wouldn't go
song would
over.
I hit you back to though?
Yeah.
It's my.
Highway to hell. I
I
used
remember
to
seeing
live.
AC/DC in concert. You remember
Yeah, me and you.
that? Yeah.
That song, Highway to Hell, my mother used to drive me to work when I worked at Newton Asphalt every morning at 6 o'clock, 6:15. She would go and drop me off over in Springfield, and then she would drive over to the other side of Springfield. She dropped me off at Van Dorn Street right in there, and then turn around and drive. And like, my God, I would say one day a week we were late. It was just
Mhm.
mind numbing because she's a fiddler, always
Uh,
fiddling around. Oh no, I think we need to we need to. This glass is dirty. No. Oh no, this is we need to charge this. Uh, there's dirty dishes in the sink. I can't leave. And you're just like, if I'm not there by 7, I get fired. Do you not? I mean, what
well,
in
she
the
was also
world?
doing you a favor by
Well,
no.
because I over and over and over kept saying I'll do, and no, it's a waste, and it's good, and we should do this, and it's bonding, and she's
Oh, she
pushing the whole,
wanted to do it.
yeah. So I was
Oh.
like, I kept doing this because she needed that psycho stuff, but it was great. I remember her, she would play that every morning, because she had it,
For
she had the cassette, or yeah,
real.
she had the cassette and would play Highway to Hell, and we'd listen to that, and we're just going down the road at about 9 miles an hour, and that's how because that's how the traffic was so freaking terrible.
In Springfield.
Yeah, well, no, you'd start in Woodbridge and you go down Route
Uh,
One, and Route One then went on to 95 North, and 95 North went to, I guess, 495 towards Baltimore, and then your first exit was Van Dorn Street, and she'd loop down there, get over. You had to get over the railroad tracks before the train came to drop me off, because the train came through at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and that was the asphalt train. And if she missed that, then I'd be late for work, and then it'd be like, go to the job site, and it's like, we hate you, and it was just very, very
it's like
painful.
we hate you.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah, the
Did you
good
guys
old
ever
days.
listen to music on the job site?
Uh, I'm
Because
trying to
that's
think.
all I see. People have like these wireless speakers.
No.
So they just use
Well, the
really.
thing is like asphalt. You're on the road,
Oh,
and
it's
you're on a
asphalt.
machine. You're on a
Yeah.
machine that's
And it's
120 decibels
loud
that
as hell.
it blows your ears out.
Fair enough.
Okay, and you're grinding the asphalt. If you're laying it, you're moving so fast that you're at a brisk walk pace. So you would need the,
Mm,
and then there wasn't power then. We're talking 81, 82, something like that. So
yeah.
it wasn't the same. And when I
This
did
was before the boom
concrete,
box.
when I
I
did
guess I'll go
concrete,
back to.
we would you were working in one location, but there were houses all around you. So you were always like cognizant of, you got to pee. And if they didn't have a Don's John, you had to go find a bush and, try to stay out of people's view. So
Yeah.
the neighbors wouldn't be pissed off that you're, pissing in the back fence or whatever. And
Yeah.
he's out there flagging his wiener. And it's like, I got to pee, man. And then if you had to go poo, oh God, take the truck, man, go somewhere. Yeah. It was always, the good old days. And this is where music leads us.
Like I like how it always ends with types of conversation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is like I just related.
That's 3/4 of your life in a sense. You
It-
spent 3/4 of your life in the bathroom, I swear.
That's where I do my best reading.
No.
Mhm.
You
Yeah, but I
used
don't
to
listen.
read
I
a
don't
lot,
listen to
yeah.
music in the bathroom.
I don't either.
Yeah, I just never had any desire. And like dinner time, I would rather, unless I'm by myself, I don't play music then. It's quiet. Most of the time in the house, we don't play music. I only play music now when I'm by myself, and occasionally if I start up the car and a song is good when I'm driving the dogs to walk, when I drop them twice a day, it's like I listen to the song and then if it goes into the commercial crap, then I'm like, screw that.
I do every time. I listen to my Spotify playlist that I've been making since 2012, actually.
Well,
And
every time I
it's-
get in the car with you, you play music. You won't leave the driveway or wherever we are
No, I
until
won't.
you start music.
I won't.
That's like your thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know why I do that either.
Valerie used to be a lot more like that,
Mhm.
and it's like, and she has this diverse.
It
I
might
think
be
the
a
thing
learned
that,
action from her, actually. It might
yeah,
be.
and
I
I think
think
the
it's a
cool
learned
thing
action
is
from
that
her.
you have learned, thankfully, your musical taste more from her, but also you broaden them. Like you listen to country and you listen to
Yeah, you guys
old
don't listen to
Hank
country.
Williams. Yeah, I do. No, I do now.
Oh, you do now. Yeah,
I
yeah.
never did before. And I heard
Mhm.
people talk, oh, it's so good. It's heartfelt, all this. I'm like, no, it's hillbilly hick shit.
Oh, it's amazing. It's
And
great.
yet I started listening to it and it's
George
like,
Strait.
wow, it
Yeah.
touches me. Well, no. And the reason I do is because of you.
Mhm.
You have expanded and I bought songs. What's the one about the really racist one about Japan?
That's not racist. Made in Japan is not racist at
Oh,
all.
okay.
With Buck Owens, it's
Yes.
about a World War II veteran who marries a woman and then she's already been arranged to be married in Japan. And then he can't marry her because she's been arranged to be married.
What does he call her?
He doesn't call her anything.
It's my Japanese something or other. Lotus Blossom or
I
I'm
think
trying
he
to
just
remember.
refers to her as a woman. Like I don't think that it has any racial connotations to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that no, maybe more in today's light than then, and maybe I'm just being silly, which I
I think
do
you
quite
are.
frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you
Well,
are
you know
being
how
a
that's how
little
I
silly.
play stuff. But
No,
hey,
but that song is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a
That
very
song's really
that's a
phenomenal.
very heartbreaking song. You know what?
Because
What's
it's the
weird?
reality of what happened after. That's
When
what I
you
mean.
play that, you know what I think of? You've
What?
never seen the play Ms. Saigon,
No, but you've told me about it.
but it's very very similar to that, and it
Hmm.
ends that way in the very end. And the wife and I saw it in London, and it was like one of those things that you don't want people to see you when the lights come up because you're crying.
Hmm.
And it's a very like heart wrench touching thing that, and I love that kind of music too. When it's, and the same thing. I love Bernstein or certain pieces.
You talking
Glenn
about
Miller
Leonard
in the
Bernstein?
mood, Benny Goodman. Oh my gosh. You
Yeah.
hear that clarinet and it just doesn't make sense. It's
Glenn
like,
Miller.
yeah. Well, no, he is trombone.
You like Glenn
Benny
Miller?
Goodman is my dad was a big band guy. Always
Oh,
loved
he
the big
was.
bands. Yeah, just crazy about that stuff. We used to always get stuck with watching Lawrence Welk or Guy Lombardo at New Year's Eve, and he get hammered and we get in fights over it. And what is that shit? Why do we gotta listen to that again?
But then you get older and you realize how valuable it is.
No, that most of their music was trash. But
Okay.
it was the musicians like that. If they had somebody like a Guy Lombardo, I mean, if they had somebody like a Benny Hill, or I mean,
Okay.
Benny Goodman,
Okay.
Benny Hill, that'd be funny.
Benny Hill, if they had a
yeah,
Benny.
or Glenn Miller. I mean, if they had those people playing, those people were like, there are people. What's the one I saw that was ripping on a guitar, and I was just like shocked by how God is he's from the 40s, and he was just playing a box guitar And I mean, not like Glenn Campbell. I mean, he's really good too. He was really, really just amazingly touching songs, you
Mhm.
know.
I mean,
But
Les
just go,
Paul was really, really good at instrumentals.
yeah,
The
yeah.
original Les Paul, yeah.
Well, then there's Buddy. Is it Buddy Rich that plays the drums,
Maybe
or is that Buddy Guy?
Guy
One or the
Buddy.
other.
No,
One of the buddies.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
freaking know. One or the other.
I
I
don't know.
can't. I
I
can't
can't
figure it
remember.
out.
I'm not good with musicians.
Yeah,
Not too
they're
good.
all named Buddy. You know.
No. Oh, yeah. But I think we're coming up on our time. We got a couple of
Oh
minutes left here, and we're gonna
my
do
gosh.
some
So music was a
plugs.
good topic.
I liked it. I think that we had a good
Wow.
time with this.
Well, I would say if
All
anybody has any
different.
topics that they'd like us to cover, like anything, whether it's filthy or not, or whether it's really personal, who cares? I talk about anything for the most part. And if you want Zach to talk, we can make him talk too.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll talk about me at some point, maybe one day.
Yeah.
Right. But
We'll
this
do
is
we'll do a record of your mother.
I was thinking about doing a couple episodes with her the other day, actually.
I think that would be good.
I think
That would be
fantastic.
I think she
I'd
would
really
love that.
enjoy that.
I think she would get a kick out of it. I think
Yeah.
and even if you just taped it for your own personal whatever, you don't have to blow it out there or something. We could you could actually use it to salt the other ones too.
Yeah.
As long as she's okay with that, because
To
not
make
everybody has this narcissistic view about life the way I do, you know.
At least it's you have the self-evaluation of it though.
Oh God,
you
yeah,
do.
I am, that's the funny thing is that I can get to the point where I know what I'm doing wrong, but the hell if I'm going to do anything about it.
A lot of people.
Why are you driving 130 miles an hour? Because I want to get there faster. It's wrong. I know. It's dangerous. I know. Are you going to change that? No. Well,
There's some respect in knowing that
yeah,
what
but
you're
it's
doing
like,
is wrong, man.
yeah, I'm self-aware that that's stupid and I could pay consequences and all this other stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But there's also levels of risk too. Like I don't drink and
That's right.
drive anymore,
No.
you know,
As
or
of
any
last
less.
week,
But yeah,
you know.
yeah, that's a bad thing. Very bad.
But I think this was great. And as always, see us on Spotify. We have a Q&A section. If you have any ideas, any questions, any answers, if you have answers to our questions, shoot from the hip and don't aim.
Yeah, and if anybody knows Joe Rogan, you should mention our name on there.
All right. This is day 3 of mentioning his name on this podcast till we get a sponsorship.
Yep.
I think that it'll be 200 more days.
I think we should send him an invoice.
I think we should send him more invoices. Yeah, we've already sent him a couple, but
yeah,
I think going forward,
I like that idea.
Might be more responsive. But everybody have a great night, and I hope the new year, the first 10 days of it, has been treating you well. It is 1/10/2024, and I hope you have a nice 1/11/2024.
So when we